There are over 3.8 billion people on social media. That's almost more than half of the population of the world. Now, you're probably not trying to sell to the 3.8 billion people that are using social media in the world to buy your product or service, right? You're probably trying to use social media to get in front of these people, but not all of them. But the thing is, your content is competing with the 3.8 billion people that are posting daily, every second, every minute, every hour. How do you actually stand out and create memorable content that people continue to recognize in their newsfeed? Today we're going to talk about just that. Welcome to Socialize That, where you're going to learn about everything that has to do with social media for business and using it to market your business. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe, man. I'm providing good content, high valuable content in this video and in videos that I've been creating and videos that are coming in the future as well. So today we're going to be talking about how you can create memorable content. Now, the key with memorable content is that you need to understand how your consumer behaves. How do human beings actually remember things? They need to see it on repeat, right? Your brain needs to, or the mind of the consumer needs to see something over and over and over. They might even need to hear something over and over and over. So right now, if I tell you, da 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 da, I'm pretty sure the rest of the tune of the McDonald's theme song just repeat it in your head. I'm loving it, you know? Like, you probably said it. This is what memorable content revolves around. You need to actually make it memorable. And to make it memorable, it has to be repeated over and over. And backed by research, you need to repeat it around 7 times for a person to remember it. And if you're delivering the content or the message through a screen, it takes double that time. So that means you're going to be repeating a lot of things, which means that you need to be consistent in what you're doing. So what are the elements that make a content piece memorable? It's essentially the branding. So I'm not only talking about the colors and the logo and the fonts that you use. That plays a very strong role. But another thing that's part of your brand, if you're a service-based business, is you. You are the brand. The way you show up, the way you dress, the colors you wear, the way you talk, the way you move your hands while you're talking. That is all you. That is memorable. That is how you show up for your audience. So right now I'm wearing this light yellow. In most of my videos I'm wearing blue, red, pink, yellow. These are my brand colors. Sometimes can get that intentional. Now, of course, my brand colors are the colors I actually like to wear and like to see in my house, but your brand colors might be a little bit different. So what it can be is like something in the background, like a symbol. You have to have a symbol that connects other people to. My symbol is the chat bubble. My colors, the fonts that I'm using, the way that I show up on video, and the way that I talk about my brand. So for example, I stand against everything that has to do with sleazy marketing or sales or anything that has to do with like manipulating the person to buy, or like you have to like, you know, convince this person that this is the product for them. No, I'm against that. I don't go with that. I'm the person that likes to attract people to me instead of me pushing myself to them. So that means that I am going to be using this in my marketing message and communicating it, and the people that I'm going to be attracting are the people that are resonating with this message. The person that wants to grow their audience to 10,000 people by buying followers is definitely not going to be turned on by the content that I'm creating, right? They're going to be like, oh, this is going to take forever. I'm not going to follow her. That's good. I don't want you to follow me. I want my ideal customer to follow me. I want my ideal customer to remember my content. Now, I want to share something with you, and I know this is going to sound really annoying, but if you show up on camera, you will be more memorable. People remember faces, not logos. It takes a long time for someone to remember a logo. It takes a long time for someone to remember a name if they don't have a face to put it to. So if I was here, you know, showing you, recorded screen grabs of stuff and like talking, doing a voiceover, yeah, you're going to remember my voice, but you're not going to remember, I'm socializethat, I'm Rania, I have Instagram, I have 9 years of experience, I teach digital marketing. You're not going to remember all these different things because you don't have a face to link this information to. And our brains are very visual. So that means your brand needs to create that experience for your audience through the social media platforms that you have. So that essentially means being consistent with the colors you're using, being consistent with the way you talk, being consistent with showing up on camera, being consistent with the props and the symbols that you use, being consistent with the things that people see in the background of your videos, being consistent with the pictures that you're putting out into your feed, being consistent with showing up for your audience. This is what's going to make memorable content. That's when it comes to branding. The second thing that you need to know when it comes to memorable content is you need to tell them through a story. So what you can do is you can actually ask your audience, why did they follow you? What is the reason that they, clicked your picture and followed you, or clicked the post and followed you, or clicked the post and commented? You can literally ask people that, and that is actually what is the memorable content that you need to leverage. So for example, a lot of people say, your presence on video is amazing. So what did I do? I leveraged that. I pushed myself out into the video world, even though I wasn't 100% comfortable with videos. And you can literally watch this video right here, which was my first YouTube video, where I wasn't 100% confident with getting on video. But because people said that your presence on the video is literally why I followed, or the graphics that you create is why I follow you, I literally leveraged that. That is the type of content that I push out because that is what's memorable for my audience. Good storytelling is literally what's going to stick into people's heads. If you realize right now, I just told you a story about my presence on the camera. You probably remember that more than the things that I just listed with the branding, where I talked about the colors, the logos, the symbols, and the tone of voice that you're using. That is the power of stories. Stories makes things memorable. So if you can combine the power of branding with the power of storytelling into one, your content will literally be so memorable that people will look at the picture and be like, this is socializethat. This person that's talking, the way that she's talking without the sound, I know how she sounds like. That is memorable content. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and comment below and tell me whose content you really remember very well. And then we can actually go into the comments and see whose content is memorable, and we can learn more in terms of how they're actually making it memorable. And you will see these elements that I just mentioned are actually present in these people's content. Now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye, guys.